All right.
Hey, Bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, I know we don't have time now, but at some point, I would just love to go through how do you what do you go through to kind of put people in those categories of the disc,
Yeah.
so that and then if there's kind of a cheat sheet of like 3 to 5 things in each category.
Oh, yeah,
There's like
yeah.
data for disc, analytics and that kind of thing, but um, and just how to approach maybe a little session on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to do that. I'm friendly with a couple of people who are like DISC certified and stuff, and I'm trying to get them to come into the group. We just haven't gotten a chance. We haven't been able to get on each other's calendar yet, but I'm pretty comfortable with it too, and I've got plenty of cheat sheets. So yes, that's definitely something I can upload, and it's definitely something that we can spend some time on. Remember the questions that we asked yesterday? The 3 questions. I shared it in the WhatsApp group, and I uploaded it to the Google Drive yesterday. And just a reminder, these are 3 questions that you can use throughout your day today as you're working towards 100 contacts or whatever the number is. Okay. We talked about possibly rebranding this to like bold 50 or something. I just want to push you. I want you to talk to more people today than you're used to talking to. Okay. Those 3 questions are as follows. You should memorize these questions, and you can ask them more or less in any situation you find yourself in. Okay. Number 1, have you or your family thought about making a move recently? Number 2, do you happen to know any neighbors or someone from church or work that we could be helping with their real estate needs? Now, notice I use the word we rather than the word I there. Just because you don't necessarily officially have a team according to Keller Williams parameters, if you will, that doesn't mean that you don't have a team. You're not going to underwrite the loan for the buyer, are you? Okay, you're not going to inspect the home, are you? You're not going to run the title, are you? You're not going to fix any of the backward electrical outlets, are you? Okay, good. So you have a team. Your team is your coach, your team leader, your agent mentors, your colleagues, the productivity coaching group, the attorneys, the lenders, the vendor. All those people are your team. How can we help you? Greta, you just started. It's already a we? Well, yeah, I joined the #1 training organization in the world, and I chose to enroll in a coaching program so that I can serve you better. How can I help you? Or how can we help you? Sorry, that was a bad example. How can we help you? Make sense? 3rd question. When you think of real estate, who do you trust? It's another way of saying, here is the worst way to ask that question. Do you have a real estate agent? So the person walks into your open house and you say, do you have a real estate agent? That is, okay, so let's figure it out. The goal is to figure out if they're committed to working with another person. That is the worst way to ask. Do you have a real estate agent? A slightly better version, which is what I always asked, was who is your real estate agent? So that presupposes 2 things. Number 1 is you need a real estate agent. It's like having a dentist, or it's like having an insurance agent, or it's like having a pediatrician. Like you should have one, right? A financial planner, right? Everyone's got one. So who's yours? Right? And the idea would be that since they're now being asked to name the person, that is a test to see how deep that relationship is. So they might say, oh, my realtor is, Heather Fowler. She's at Keller Williams Roswell. Great. Heather's an awesome agent. All the best to you. Click. That conversation's not going anywhere. We don't talk negatively about other agents. If you happen to know the person, say, yeah, Heather's great. Move on. I was talking to somebody yesterday about coming to Keller Williams. I asked if they had a relationship with anyone at Keller Williams. They said, oh yeah, I know Karen Smythe down in Brookhaven. I said, I love Karen. right? At that moment, I'm not going to be named the sponsor. Okay. However, I'm also a leader in the office and I'm tasked with growing the office. So I didn't say, have a nice life. I said, I love Karen, right? But I want you to be in Roswell. So how do we talk about that? Right. I'll show you how to reward Karen. I'll even write her name down if you want, but I want to meet with you. Okay. So the next question, or the best way I think to ask this question is when you think, oh, by the way, if they say, gosh, hey, Rachel, what was the name of that guy? Was it Bob or Steve or, okay, that's not a good relationship. It's not committed. There's nothing in writing, and it's your time to go in and ask for the gig. Right? The statistics say that if you lined up 100 people, 100 consumers that say that they have a relationship with a real estate agent, only 9% will use that agent in their next transaction. Now, what does that tell us? That tells us that almost everyone is fair game. Okay. I've helped realtors do transactions. So just because they have a real estate license doesn't mean there's not an opportunity for me. Okay. So your brother's a realtor? Cool. I can help both of y'all. Sounds like we should meet. Would 2 o'clock tomorrow be better or 3 o'clock today be better? Okay. The best way to ask that question is, when you think of real estate, who do you trust? Now, that means that we're presupposing that they should not just know somebody in real estate, but they should have a trusted advisor, a trusted resource in real estate. It's a little bit deeper. And you're asking them again for a name. So if they can't immediately spit out a name, you know that there's an opening for you. And then you follow it up with a question like, I wanted to know if I might have the right to earn that responsibility. I always liked that line. I'd like to earn your business. I don't want your business. I want to earn it. I don't want you to give it to me. I want to earn it. Right? Earn it tells the other side that you're willing to work hard and you plan to work hard to, number one, earn or attain, and secondly, to maintain that relationship, right? To earn the responsibility of being your trusted resource. Okay. Would it be okay if I stayed in touch with you periodically, just let you know what's going on in the market or in your neighborhood? And if you need anything, I'd be here for you. Pretty not particularly assertive, right? A pretty relaxed way of ask or making that statement. And those questions might be, hey, Markia, I met you at an open house 6 months ago, and you had mentioned that, you have relationships with lots of vendors, and, my toilet just broke. Who's your plumber? I love getting those calls. Am I going to get paid for that? No. But am I going to deepen the relationship with the consumer and deepen the relationship with the plumber that I recommend and support their business? Yes. And that will pay off in the long run. I promise you. Okay. So if you're in the line at the grocery store and you get to talking to somebody, you could ask the question, hey, I've got a goal to sell 20 homes next year, help 20 families move. But by the way, do you happen to know anyone in this area that or somebody from church or work that's looking to move that my team and I could possibly help? I've got a listing 2 miles away and I just wanted to share that information with you. Okay. The more conversations you have, the more results you're going to have. It's that simple. Okay. So let's back up and talk about Bold 100 for a second. Any questions on any of that?
Bill, could you just repeat that? I wanted to know if I have the right to earn your business, or the opportunity to earn your business. What?
Yeah, I said, I wanted to know if I might have the right to earn that responsibility. Because we've already talked about the trusted person or trusted resource. I mean, earn the right to earn your business. That would be acceptable too, certainly. Markia, go ahead.
So yesterday, I recently got my kitchen renovated, and the guy actually put me as a referral to someone that he wanted to do work for.
Okay.
And she randomly called me yesterday and, asked me about the advice. And I was, giving her honest opinion. And then I was like, oh, I'm a real estate agent. And I know you're doing renovations. I was like, but if you know anybody. And she was like, oh, my sister's actually looking to move from Florida. And I was like, I'll send you my business card. She said she do paparazzi jewelry. And I was like, oh, I'm a property manager. So, we do stuff at the apartments all the time. We can get that communication going. So it was a really smooth transition with what you're saying with the whole vendor thing. So
Exactly.
it worked.
That's right. Now I know our tendency, guys, because most of us are high D's. Okay. And we want to get straight to the point. If I'm on the phone with you, I want to figure out if there's a chance I could help you buy something or sell something anytime in during my life. Yet we have to slow that down. Okay. People don't like conversations where you're the one asking for stuff only. Okay. You have to make deposits before you can make withdrawals. Many of you have heard me say this. I don't currently have any money at Bank of America. Okay. I don't have any accounts there. If I walked into Bank of America today and I said, hi, I'd like some money. They're like, okay, we'll just fill out this deposit slip or this withdrawal slip and, tell me your account number and we'll give you the money. And I said, well, I don't have an account number. They're like, do you understand how this whole thing works? Right? You're not going to get any money because I haven't made any deposits there. Okay. But if I go into Wells Fargo, I got a bunch of accounts there and I got a bunch of money there. And so I walk in the door, they're like, hey, Bill, all right, hey, get Bill's coffee ready for him. Right? And then when I get up to the desk, they're like, would you like money from 4405 today or 3729 today? Right? You see what I'm saying? So I've made a lot of deposits there, and therefore I got a lot coming back to me. So today is about making deposits. Okay? We got a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. And we got people that are concerned from a health perspective, from a social equity perspective, from a political perspective, from a we could go on and on and on. Okay. People are behind in their payments. They're worried about their job, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of times people just need to be loved on. Today is about loving on people. It's about care calls. It's about asking questions about people's general livelihood. Okay. And when appropriate, you can bring up real estate. You can bring up real estate in a number of following ways. Okay. Now, if you're calling for sale by owners today, run the for sale by owners script. Expired, that's what you should do. Circle prospecting, that's what you should do. Although these are some good circle prospecting questions. Okay. Circle prospecting, by the way, is when you're calling, I think most of us know this, but let's say you have an open house at this particular 123 Main Street or something. You send me that address because we have access to Cole Resource Realty through productivity coaching. My assistant's working all day today for me because we're going to hit 100, right? So she's not doing the typical split shift today. And she will send you back the 1,500 people that live closest to that property with their addresses, names, and cell phone numbers. Okay. And you can call those people and let them know, hey, wanted to invite you to an open house. Wanted to let you know about a new listing. Wanted to let you know that the listing I just called you on 3 days ago is now under contract. I just wanted to remind you that the listing I called you on 3 weeks ago and told you was under contract, and 4 weeks ago and told you was available, is now sold, and it's sold for $350. That's the highest sale in the neighborhood in 3 years. Are you ready to sell? Or do you know anyone now that's ready to sell? Right? So it's those types of calls. The goal with all this is really to build a database, right? Can I put new people into my database that may come to me in the future with a real estate need? Even if it's not, I'm ready to buy something or I'm ready to sell something. Okay. Now, so we can use these scripts for circle prospecting. So if you're using those, if you're going to be doing circle prospecting today, you can use the circle prospecting scripts in the Google Drive or some of the stuff I just went over. Here's a couple of offerings that you could offer today. Vendor lists, right? You could just use the vendor list of the Market Center, right? We have flooring people, we have insurance agents, we have water restoration people, we have plumbers, we have electricians, we have prepaid legal, we have, I mean, all kinds of different services that, you know, an adult family would probably benefit from. So most of them were home related, but not all of them, right? Like a property and casualty insurance or life insurance or a health insurance or something like that. We have our mobile app. You could share your mobile app today, right? You don't want to say necessarily, hey, want to download one more app on your phone that'll clog up your phone's memory. Say, hey, you know, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. You know, Keller Williams is built this billion-dollar tech platform, and they have a mobile app that they're working on making it better and better and better every day. And one of the really cool features about it is that you can search by neighborhood, not just zip code, which is what a lot of the other, you know, Zillows and Realtor.coms and Trulias and all that do, or Redfins. So could you, would you mind downloading it and just trying it out a little bit and tell me what you think? That's pretty unassuming, right? But before you know it, they're starting to use it because it's a cool app, and they're starting to, you know, look for homes in, I don't know, Lake Lanier or something, right? Now, next thing you could offer is the neighborhood nurture, right? Remember, we want to take lots of notes today, because the purpose of all the calls is to get data and to update data, right? So if you find out that the, you know, let's say Ebony's husband's name is Steve and you didn't previously know that, it's not Steve, is it? Yeah. Write it down, right? If you find out their daughter's name, or you find out where their kid's in school, or you find out that they love going on hikes or something, or they love going to, you know, Panama City or whatever you find out about them, write it down. And you can bring that stuff up to them in the future. And they will appreciate that, because that is evidence that you are listening. And like we talked about earlier, people like to be heard. They like to be right, and they like to look good. Okay, so today we're going to help them be right and look good. All right, so neighborhood nurture. If we get their property address, then we can send them a customized link to see the sales activity in their specific neighborhood, or any neighborhoods that they select, and get that notice every 2 weeks or every month. Hey, we got a new technology. It's called Neighborhood Nurture. It's similar to what I just said. It's set up based on neighborhoods rather than zip codes. And you know, it can send you a custom link just to you, personalized. You can add as many neighborhoods as you like, and you can see the sales information. You could even tell a story. So, you know, one of my clients has really enjoyed this. And, you know, what they did is they went to the neighborhood that they were born in, because it's across the country, right? So let's say you were born in this little city outside of, I don't know, St. Louis or something. Say, hey, let's go see what's going on in the real estate market there, right? Hey, if there was one place that you would move, if you were to move, where would you move to? Oh, I'd move to Salt Lake City, so I'm really close to the ski resorts. Great, let's add those neighborhoods too, and start to see what's going on in the real estate market there, right? Let's try to have some fun with this. It's a cool piece of technology, and technology is supposed to be used to bind people together, right? So they could share their interest and talk about it. So you say, hey, we're developing a new technology. I just wanted to see your thoughts on it. Would you mind taking a peek at it? That's totally unassuming. That's not salesy at all, right?
Bill?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on that. You're saying you're sending a link. I thought the neighborhood nurture was like a newsletter or something that was sent out. So I don't even know how to operate it. I'm very uncomfortable putting a link out there.
So today doesn't necessarily have to be your day for the neighborhood nurture unless you want it to be. The neighborhood nurture it kind of functions like a newsletter does, in the sense that it is sent out, you know, at a pre-planned time. But it doesn't have like the, you know, like vendor corner and note from my sponsor. It doesn't look like a newsletter. It looks like a website, basically. So what I have done is you can go into go into command and set yourself up on a neighborhood nurture. And it is a link that you can click on, and it changes like every 10 or 15 minutes or something. So it's there's a technical term for that. It's not a hyperlink, but it's a live link basically. So it's not static. And you can test it out for yourself. Or maybe you could send it to a friend of yours and say, hey, I just watched this couple-minute video on how to set this up. Can you take a look at it and see what you think about it before you go start to talking to everyone in your database or strangers about this piece of technology? I'm just offering you some different options to offer things of value today. Okay.
Don't you think we should understand it? I mean, like, I don't know how to set it up. That's what I'm telling you is I don't know how to do it.
Yep. Well, of course, you need to have you need to know exactly how it works before you go and set it up. I will, hang on just 1 second. I'm going to keep this room open all day long, by the way. So you can click on this link. What I'd like to do, I'll go over the kind of game plan here in just 1 second. What I'm trying to do is I'm going into YouTube really fast to show you something. So is everyone following a gentleman named Nick Baldwin? Does anyone know who Nick Baldwin is?
I followed him, but I haven't gotten any. I mean, like, following and actually actively, watching his things are two different things.
Okay, so Nick is a how to create a neighborhood video. All right. Actually, hang on.
Hey, how's everyone doing? It's Nick.
Give me one sec.
Now let's jump back into the smart plan and pick up where we left off. And we're going
Bill, while you do that, I would just like to recommend that all of you new agents is Marty Miller's 66 Days to Command last time I looked, he was on version 4.0, I think.
That's correct,
but
yeah.
It gives you every single thing you need, and it's all on YouTube, so you can stop it and start it and stop it and start it.
Go-to channel for social media.
That's right. All right, so let me share a couple things with you guys really fast.
So currently, unless it's just my computer, Command is still down, and we are currently making upgrades to the Keller Cloud. It's been this way all week for me.
Oh gosh. A lot of times those updates are made on Tuesday night. I'm surprised it's still that way. Okay, Mary, give me 1 second. I want to get one or two thoughts out of my head, and then I'll get to that. Okay, so I just posted a link right there. It's a YouTube link, and that is I haven't watched that video, but it's basically how to create a neighborhood nurture. If you go to YouTube, there's a gentleman named why did I do that? These two gentlemen, Nick Baldwin. He is a he's the regional tech director out of Northern Virginia and Michigan, or Northern Ohio and Michigan. If you were to look for, let's say, Nick Baldwin neighborhood nurture, I can't type today. You would see countless videos, some as short as like 4 or 5 minutes, on how to set it up and how to use it and how to share it and that kind of thing. Okay. Jan was just talking about a guy named Marty Miller. I think Marty Miller is also a regional tech director. I believe he's out of Florida, if I'm not mistaken. You can look him up on Facebook or YouTube as well. He kind of combined the two concepts of learning Command by building a habit to learn Command through a 66-day challenge. And so what he did is he said, each day for 66 days, I'm going to do a video. It's typically about 5 to 10 minute video on some feature of Command. And that way, today you might learn about opportunities. The next day you might learn about how to design a flyer. The next day you might learn about, seeing the referral patterns coming into your city or leaving your city. Another day you might find, they have predictive analytics. or not quite predictive analytics in Command, but it's like right on the en route to it. So it's kind of like you can go into a neighborhood and say, okay, this is a 400 home neighborhood. Now show me all the people that bought in the last 5 years. Or possibly a better way to do it would be show me the people that did not buy in the last 5 years, meaning these are some people with some equity, right? Or these are people that they might be getting closer to considering moving, right? Okay, so show me the ones there that don't live in the house anymore, right? The tax bill goes to a different address. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. So instead of sending 400 pieces of mail, you can say, if I narrow the list down using this and this and this criteria, I can send 17 pieces of mail to the people who I believe are most likely to move this year. Make sense? Okay. I'm going to make a big offer that I've made a few times, and I'll be honest, I've only had 2 people take me up on this since we started. Okay. Today is for calls and communication. Today is not for, I'm going to be putting stuff in my database at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I should be making phone calls. Okay. Database entry is the real estate agent's assistant's job. Okay. You should not be doing the real estate agent's assistant's job during the workday, ideally, especially on the first Wednesday of the month, bold 100. Okay, my assistant is working today all day. She usually does a split shift. Today she's all in one. She always does that on bold 100 day. She will be texting a list of people with a certain message while I'm making the phone calls to the same group of people, and we're just going to go in opposite directions. Okay, it won't be today, but if your handwriting is good or your typing is good and you want to record notes, right? If let's say you were just to have an open email, and you were to say, Mary Steele, mary.steele@gmail.com, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She is a renter and her lease ends in October. Call her in 3 months. Okay, for example. And you say, Greta Massey. She is Greta Massey at yahoo.com, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 4 is her number. And she loves tennis. Her daughter's name is Sarah. And she is going to be downsizing in 2 years. Send her a handwritten note, something like that. And you just have entry after entry after entry after entry. If you email that to me, I will send it to my assistant, and we'll put it, if you're willing to share your password and all that, we'll put it into Command for you for free. Okay. Just because I'm a nice person. For free means I'll pay for it, not you. She's still getting paid. Trust me. Okay.
Thank you. I don't remember hearing you offer that before, so I must have missed that.
Oh, you were. I just usually offer that on the day. Well, let me make a contingency on that. I'm not referring to like anytime ever, right? I'm referring to today.
Of course.
Okay. Although, if you've never had anyone do anything for you like that before, I am more than happy to give you a free hour or two of work so that you can feel how awesome leverage is. Okay. If you have an interest in feeling how awesome leverage is, I'm more than happy to compensate my assistant for you to get that kind of experience. Okay. Any questions on that? Mary, does that address what you're, my comment is, I don't really care if Command's down. Just make the calls. And you can put it in later. Or we'll put it in later for you.
I do have a question on that.
Yeah.
Like I've been taking notes as I've been contacting people, and again, don't know Command, it doesn't do me any good to put a note in if I don't have a marked action that comes out the other end. So I can take notes about things, or it's going to be in 2 years, but unless I have a reminder, because I am 50 something, I'm going to forget. How do I leverage that? How do I make that work for me?
So as you continue to learn command and you understand the power that it can, create for you, and the smart plans and the ticklers and the reminders and all the automated stuff, you can take the message, let's say that you wrote today, call this person in 2 years, right? And let's say this weekend when you say, okay, well, I need to go back through the 80 people that I spoke to today and actually make an action item on that, then you can learn about segmenting your database and putting the people on smart plans and these kind of things. So my point is, today's about getting the data and recording it, making it an action item for later that can be automated and turned into a business efficiency so that nothing slips through the cracks. You can do that, not today. Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, look, that's the whole point of technology, Greta, is to say, we don't want you to have to fill brain space with remembering to call Joe Schmo on this day in a year, right? We need to just take 2 seconds to put it into the system and make it automatic. And then as long as I do my part, which is log in, the computer will do their part, which is tell me everything I need to know.
And I agree. I'm bought in 100%. I just don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Well,
so I have everything that I'm doing is now just a stack of notes somewhere and not working for me.
Well, it's not working for you yet.
Yes.
Right. So remember that Sam has office hours every single day. And he comes specifically to the productivity group Friday afternoon for half an hour. And then we have Robin T. We also have YouTube where you can get in. I know that's kind of the typical response nowadays. Hey, here's a video for it. It's it's a tool that if you adopt it, you will see great results from it. It's also a tool that is we're getting the kinks out, right? But it's like you have a smartphone, right? Did you go to a smartphone class to learn how to use your smartphone?
I only make calls on it. I don't really use it for anything but a calendar and calls because I don't know how to use it. That's what I'm telling you.
So play around with
it. And I own
they have videos for that, Greta.
Oh my God. Okay.
That old.
Right? It's like how to import how to do a contact, or how to set up a swipe thing. Like if I swipe to the left, this happens. If I swipe to the right, that happens. Like you can do all this stuff, right? So I have an iPad app called Notability. Okay. And that thing will literally cook dinner for you, but I just haven't watched the video to learn how to make it cook dinner for me. So I'm using it to this degree instead of this degree. So this is going to come off a little harsh, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's not directed at you, Greta. There's a lot of talk about, what is technology going to do for the real estate space? And some people are like, well, technology is going to replace the realtor. I don't think so. Maybe we'll have a different conversation in 50 years or 100 years or something. I don't think we'll ever be swiping right to buy a house. Okay. There's just too much going on in the process for a human not to be involved somehow. However, technology is going to replace some of our jobs, and therefore it will probably put pressure on our commissions downward. So I would be expecting that to happen sooner than later. I do not believe that technology will replace the agent. Okay. But I do believe that, wait, let me say it the other way. I don't believe, why am I having a hard time saying this? Hang on one second. Okay, you will not be replaced by technology. You will be replaced by the agent who has embraced and mastered technology. Right, so it's here to stay. The question is if you choose not to use it, then you're going to be competing against the agents who are choosing to use it. and who are being super resourceful on how to make it work better for them. Right. And there will probably still be a little piece of the pie that you can have, but those that do not embrace and master technology will probably see that their slice of the pie is getting smaller and smaller over time.
Google is your friend.
That's right. Right.
There's a template that Sam, okay, so there's a template for Excel that Sam has. I don't remember how I got it, but it basically is you put all the information in so you can import straight from that spreadsheet to Command. And I mean, there's spots for like the name, the address, email, tags you want to place on them. And it's really good at keeping everything organized and everything together. And then you can just import the whole thing into Command straight from your Excel spreadsheet, if that helps at all.
I actually sent in the Sunday email, I sent out the attachment for that document. So it's
cool.
kind of like the super list that you can download and begin to add people to it using those, cells, columns, and stuff. Yet, as I said, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with that. You can't pay your bills with a perfectly organized spreadsheet. You pay your bills with closings that resulted from contact or appointments that resulted from contacts. So let's stick to the contacts today. And, maybe there will be a time where you walk into Robin T's office or you hire my assistant for something or some other assistant for something. Jan just had this is not a commercial. You guys, I have a virtual assistant company. Many of you know that, but I don't really talk about it so much. I'm not using this as a forum to get more business, but you walk in, you say, here's what I've been working on for the last 3 weeks. You deal with this. Right. I'm busy. I'm making phone calls.
It works great, guys. I promise you.
What's that?
I said it works great. It was the best money I've ever spent.
Yeah, I think what was it, Jan? It was like $60 or something, and you got like 10,000 people in your database.
Yeah, I don't even remember how much I paid her, but whatever it was ludicrously small compared to the hours that I'd already spent trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
So.
And the hours that I spent telling you that be patient with Command, right?
I'm in. I'll pay whatever. I just don't. I'm in. I'm totally. Just send me a link of whatever you want me, however you want the
Here's
information.
my checking account, just to make this problem go away.
Yes,
right?
I can't.
Remember, guys, when we're faced with a problem, there's only 2 ways to solve the problem. Okay, your time or your money. Okay.
Money every day. Money every day.
Right. So my kid needs to get picked up from school. I'm going to use my time for that. Okay. I get fulfillment from that. My grass needs to be cut. I'm using my money for that. I don't want to have anything to do with grass. Make sense? All right. I'm going to keep this. I'll turn off the recorder. What I would love to do, guys, is just have the room open throughout the day. Let's celebrate our successes. Let's use the chat for, hey, how do I find this? What do I say in this situation? Hey, I just booked an appointment. Hey, I just added somebody in my pipeline, etc. There's no judgment. You can take yourself off the video. You can keep yourself on the video. I'll be in and out. I got 1 or 2 things that I got to take care of today, but I'll be in the room pretty much all day. And I'll be available for any questions and that kind of thing. And let's go have some fun. Okay. Let's track the normal stuff, the time that we're spending, the number of contacts that we make. A contact, remember, can be any 2-way back and forth. So it could be social media, it could be a call, an in-person meeting, a Zoom meeting, any of that. And let's also strive to, gosh, this would be awesome. Let's everyone try to book an appointment today. Let's book an appointment today. Okay. Nothing happens until you meet with the person. Sounds like we should meet. I agree. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. All right. Y'all have some fun. Okay. I'll be here. Just let me know what you need.